Hello. First of all, I want to thank those of you who are watching me after having been viewing our show, Montessori for Everybody, for a long time. If you don't know me, I'm Susan Zink, and this is our next to the last show. We've had a great time together, at least I have, and I appreciate so much all of the time that you have spent with me and inspiring me, because a lot of what I have learned has come from the people that I've taught, the little people that I've taught, as well as the people that I have taught on the internet and through live trainings that I've done. The best way to learn is to have a good reason why, to have something that you want to accomplish, something that you want to have happen in the world. One of the things that I have seen the master Montessori teachers that I've had the privilege of studying with do is figure out the children's why. What is it that they want to know? What is it that they want to do? And those teachers, those educators, those classroom leads, in turn, use that information to organize what they presented to the children. Now, this is a kind of a special episode. In fact, it's a special episode in many ways because we're just doing one more. It is time for me to finish up this stage of sharing in my life and move on to some other things. I want to devote this episode to a really essential Montessori principle, and that is the idea that there is a vision of the child that as educators we need to hold even before it's before our eyes. In some ways you might call this hope. When you see a child that comes to you and their behaviors are random, maybe they are even very disrespectful in the classroom, if you are going to do Montessori education with that child in a classroom, in a home, in a retreat camp setting, whatever, the first thing you need to do is take a moment to reinvigorate your hope, to reinvigorate the idea that there is a child you can't see yet that resides inside the set of disruptive behaviors that is masquerading as a child in front of you. This is the hope that inspires Montessori educators until they have enough experience that they don't need to hope anymore. It's just a matter of, oh, here's where we are on the journey. This is going to have to be a place, a rocky ledge that we walk along before we get to the place where that child can reveal who he or she really is. Now, you might be wondering at this point, why at the beach? I don't think you've seen me film here before, and there's a good reason for that. This place gives me hope. This place helps me to know that what we aspire to in the world is possible. That the world we hope to engage in the future, the world we hope we are guiding children so that they will be a part of creating it, that world is a real possibility. Without hope, things are pretty bleak, and especially for a lot of you. A lot of you are in the classroom. A lot of you may, if you're watching this right when it gets released, have just started your winter break if you're in the U.S. You may be anticipating it in the next couple of days because you're exhausted. And I'm going to tell you, if there is nothing else you learn from me, if there is nothing else you take from the Montessori for Everybody episodes that we have, figure out a way to not be exhausted. Do whatever it takes. Meet with your administrator. Reorganize your schedule. There is no way you can keep the hope that you need right in front of you unless you have your rest. You have to take care of yourself to be able to carry forth this vision that still is so rare in the world. Now, one of the things that you may be wondering is, well, why aren't you going to do this anymore? Well, the reason is because I believe I can serve better somewhere else. And the piece of that that's really relevant to the Montessori world right now is I think we are looking in the wrong places too much of the time. The hope that the child is going to reveal himself or herself in our classroom by being in the right environment with the right support will not happen if we keep adding other requirements onto what we're doing. If you throw in testing and you throw in other artificial restraints, if you throw in time schedules that don't allow for that 2, preferably 3 to 4 hour period of time where a child can make choices for him or herself, if you get rid of those things or you box them into a place where they can't function the way they're supposed to, this isn't going to work. So one of the things that these last 2 episodes are about is asking you to refocus. For some of you, you're getting ready to start a new calendar year. Maybe you're getting ready to start a new school year. A few of you, depending on how you roll, if you're doing homeschool and you have a different schedule than the rest of the world, more power to you as long as you are paying attention to what your children need. But this is a time of refocusing for a lot of folks. So I'm going to ask you to refocus on what you know to be true, and if things aren't working, if the things you would like to have happen in your classroom aren't happening, if the things you were expecting to have happen in your homeschool setting aren't happening because you're not sure why, go back to the principles. Go back to Montessori's books. Most of you, if you've seen a few of our episodes, have heard me recommend Dr. Montessori's book, What You Should Know About Your Child. Go back to that if you're new. If you're not new, go back to The Absorbent Mind and re-ground yourself in the principles that she taught. One of the ways you're going to be more effective is by doing Montessori education more authentically. And that is my challenge to you. Find out how to re-ground yourself in those principles. Renew your hope that that child that Montessori described is real, that that child can show up in your life, in your classroom, in your home, if you arrange the environment, including preparing yourself, preparing the mentor, preparing the educator, preparing the parent, so that you can be that part of the environment that you need to be. Now, I'm going to kind of wind this up with the way we are sort of winding up Montessori for Everybody as an entity. Some of you know that I have some online materials, some information that is training for those who are working with children in the classroom or in a homeschool setting. If you are interested in that material, this is it. Doors close on January 31st of this year. If you are interested in some of the things we might have up on the website or on our Facebook page, I would invite you to check those out between now and then, because they are going away as well. I am stepping into a new phase of supporting children, supporting mentors, supporting the people who are going to bring up the children who are going to change the world, and I'm excited. I am full of hope. And the last piece that I want you to take away from this episode is you are completely capable of doing Montessori education in your home, in your school, as you would like to do it. That ability is within you. You would not be watching this if it wasn't. Now, does that mean you're ready to do it fully, embodying the vision you have for the way to support your children tomorrow? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know your exact situation, but I know you have that within you to do the personal preparation if you're not there, to re-ground yourself in what you know in your heart if you are. So I ask you to take on this next semester, these next months of your time in your home, in your classroom, with a renewed hope, and realize you are doing the most important work in the world. If you can do that with energy and love and enjoyment, you can make an impact that is beyond your wildest dreams. And I so much appreciate all the time that we have shared together on this journey. And for some of you, I hope the journey will continue and that we will be able to continue to learn together through the ways that we communicate online, in person, and throughout the Montessori world, the world of education, and the world of supporting children. If you are in a holiday season, I wish you happy holidays and a wonderful continuation or start to your education.